Okay, so back to coaching. It's the late '90s. Explain like the circumstances around how you became the head coach of Hamilton.
Oh, that's another story within a story.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I mean, I was with John Smith, and what great years I had with John Smith. You know, I was very fortunate to be around Darrell Hedrick, Coach McCollum, but John was the guy that really really kind of transformed me into the kind of coach I wanted to be, and I kind of coached that I felt that Hamilton could be successful. You know, we weren't like a Moeller or a LaSalle where every player on the basketball team only played basketball. You know, look at the state championship. Two of the best players played football. You know, Adam Myers-White and Derek Goff. And a lot of good players were good football players and basketball players. So they weren't going to be able to play all year round like a lot of these other schools. They played AAU, and you were one of the guys that selected one, which that's one reason why you became a great leader. You know, you were able to, really, make your skills where it should be. But to go back, so Coach Smith called me and said, Larry, I'm gonna retire. I said, really? So that was probably late April, around April, and the process started. And before I forget this gentleman, I want to make sure because you talk about this story, but a gentleman named Nate Lampley was big in my corner, in my backing. And I think without Nate, I'm not sure if I would have ever been head coach. I'm not sure. I mean, I wasn't in on all the meetings. I wasn't in on all the, information but to say that, I wanted to make sure he was very instrumental in beginning to be a head coach. But after several weeks, few months, they finally went with another gentleman. And this gentleman came up to me and wanted me to be the JV coach. I probably could have gotten the Colerain head coaching job, but I didn't want to go to Colerain. I wanted to stay with the Big Blue, stay in Hamilton, because I knew what type of kids we had. And so he said, well, Larry, can I get an open gym? I said, sure, we can get all the guys together. So at that time, our gym was being refurbished, kind of cleaned up and stuff, and there was a lot of stuff going on. So we went to Wilson. I had all the guys show up at Wilson. And the coach brought some of his other people that he was going to have coach at Hamilton with us. And I'm standing there after about a half hour watching open gym. And the coach said, Larry, where's the rest of the guys? I said, you're seeing everybody. He said, really? Well, there's Wallace Morris and Andy Reed, Darren Bowling, Matt Hubbard, Seth Morris, Eddie Tan, all those guys playing open gym. A lot of them played football, a lot of them played baseball. Seth Morris, heck, he was a big draft choice. Went to Kentucky and played baseball. And, Matt Hubbard, great was on the state championship team. He says, this is the talent? I said, yeah, this is the group of guys. Well, about a week later, I got a call and said, coach has resigned, and we would like to submit we'd like for you to come up and talk. Well, I thought Mrs. Baker, which was the superintendent, I thought she was calling me up to make sure I did leave Hamilton so I wouldn't take the Colerain job. So I didn't make a big deal out of it, and I was getting ready to go to Disney World. And the people that know me, Disney World is very important to me. And, the next thing I know, I got an urgent call from the secretary, a lady named Lou Ann Bevilacqua, she said, Larry, you need to get up here right away. So what do you mean? You need to get up here right away. So I got up there, and Mrs. Baker kind of slapped me around. Didn't really lay a hand on it. She said, when the superintendent calls for you, you need to come. And I said, okay. She said, well, Tuesday night, I'm going to submit your name for the head coaching job. Okay. All right. I'm happy.
Right.
And so that was like on a Friday. And by then, I think Friday night or Saturday morning, we're at Disney. I was heading out of town. So Tuesday, I got a call. I had just gone to the Mermaid show at Hollywood Studios, and they had that. Back then we didn't have a cell phone. Back then I had they had a phone, telephone booth, and I called, and Louie answered the phone. She said, "Now you are now the head basketball coach." On a Tuesday, well, that was Wednesday morning, and what's really, I think, very made me I've always been a true believer in God. I think there's angels. Well, my father-in-law, I found out the same way 1 year earlier that my father had died. Because he told me, take those babies to Disney World. And I knew he was not doing well, but I didn't think he was going to die.
Right.
And so a year later, after my father died, I got the head coaching job. So I knew then that I truly had an angel in the sky, my dad. And so it's like my mother-in-law says, and my wife said, he was going to get you to be the basketball coach.
Right.
I think I was his choice.
Oh, yeah.
And I was so those group of guys that had that open gym, we started 9-1, 8th in the state that year. We ended up getting some injuries. We kind of struggled, but we ended up being like, 14-7 or something like that, 14-6.
Right.
And a young man, Bobby Brook, if you hadn't hurt his back, we got beat by a really good team in the tournament, and he was my backup, and he was big. We didn't have him that game, but and Bobby's probably one of the smartest people I ever coached. I mean, he runs big. He has big business out in California, and his also his brother. I think Casey. Casey's pretty smart too.
Yeah.
But Casey had ice water in his veins. Nothing ever affected Casey.
Right.
So we had a nice little gathering. A lot of people came at my mother-in-law's house, and I remember I'm standing there with the assistant superintendent, and she said, "Well, if that would have happened the way it happened, Larry was too nice to you guys." But at the same time, I was grateful. And this is a job I prayed for a long time. And so, history was made with a lot of great players. Because I knew by then, I've been around the corner several times. You got the key was, and I think Adam Myers-White says it the best, give you guys a system and go with it. And we had a system.